So, I got invited to visit Bang Olufsen over in Struer, Denmark to have guided tours around their showrooms, their Beohome installation, their sound sphere, and even where they make the products themselves. So without further ado, enjoy.
I also have another important B&O tool, but I use that in the free time. It's easy to replace.
This was the starting point, broke it down into the different elements, one of them being how do you lift, how do you control. We decided quite early on to actually use some linear actuators. So what you can see here also on the final product. So we have these very strong lifting columns that we use to basically lift the screen. After actually some months of doing a lot of sketching, doing a lot of different types of mechanisms, we ended up with something very, very simple, and you can see why we thought that this was the way to go. So now we're turning it off and it begins to lift. It grabs this point, it moves it upwards, and because of the geometry here on the arm, it actually rotates the speakers at the same time and transforms from being hidden behind this to actually have the speakers underneath. So super simple mechanism, just with a few arms. This is a working model that was done, the first model to showcase the experience.
Level. Here we're also working with a different material than we're used to. We have always with Level, right from the beginning, been working with fabric and with wood. But you know, hey guys, we're world champions in aluminium. Why not also create an aluminium front? So we worked with Factory 5 on that, and this one is one of my favorites because, as you probably can see, there's this very subtle Bang & Olufsen logo that you only see in different kind of angles, you know, depending on where you look. I really like to have something in gold. And you know, we were showing him the golden color, and he's like, no.
Not that gold.
I mean real gold. Okay, well, we can gold plate it. No. Solid gold. So he actually had this idea of getting Explore in a solid gold. And we looked into it because we, of course, took it serious, and it would be like close to 1 million DKK just to buy the material for this. And we didn't even know if it would work because gold is also quite soft and so on. So we went back and said, you know, unfortunately we can't. He thought it would be much nicer for him to have his gold in his products like that than to have the gold bar hidden somewhere in a safe. I guess he has a point. But no, we had to disappoint him in that way. But we said, let's try and make a gold-plated one. So this is actually an Explorer that's 24 karat gold-plated, which is has its own look, you can say. Whether you like it or not, that's up to you to decide. And we were kind of hoping that there would be some customer who would come, a little bit like the customer who wanted the Golden Explorer, but come with something a little bit, you know, crazy when it came to Beolab. And it was, you know, there were not really anyone approaching us, so we thought, well, then we'll start to explore ourselves. So we did like a big design sprint where we had different kind of variants or ideas, bouncing ideas, you know, Beolab 90 with Danish porcelain, Beolab 90 with ceramic, Beolab 90 with wood, you know, having much more focus on wood as a material. So just, you know, a lot of different renderings, kind of playing around and how could we make Beolab 90 in a different way. We decided this is all renderings. These are all pictures from before we had our prototyping people starting to make a prototype, and this is the first prototype. Ended up looking like this. So this is where you take Beolab 90 to a different place, you know? You're not only working with different fabric, you're working with a different material. Here we have bronze mesh, so it's woven.
Hi, welcome home.
Amazing. Put in some fancy equipment like the wine cooler, and we can say, "Hey Google, good night."
Good night.
The good night mode also starts the TV with some relaxing video content and dims the light in a reddish color. And what we do is we recreate a sunset. This is something that we have developed.
Good morning. The time is 11:45 a.m. Have a great day.
The content changes, the light changes, it will create a sunrise, shades go up again. The best is in front.
Yeah,
So
you're
very
better
fast.
off. You're better off sitting in the front if you can.
In a pattern that we use the room in the best possible way.
This used to Bang Olufsen salary. So
Yeah, this one goes with this one, but we have the crowns are not the same. The one on the bottom is bigger, and then we have the middle, and we have the top. So there are three different profiles and three different rings that we mill away. Yes, Fantastic. Great.